planting delight. Join us, Iona and Cammy. Let's have some fun. It's time for Fed by Farmers.
Hello and welcome to Fed by Farmers with me, Cammy Wilson.
And me, Iona Murray.
This one again brought to you by Fowras Fabrication. Thanks to James at Fowras for sponsoring this one. Check them out at fowras.co.uk for all of your farming gates and calf huts. And Iona, do you need anything that Fowras would do?
You know, I was just thinking there, I wonder if they could make me a wee something.
Aye, just something.
Just a wee something.
Something you don't actually need for your day-to-day life.
I'll take a gate.
Who doesn't? We all need more gates.
Oh, aye.
Like, it's one of those things. If somebody offers you a gate, you take it.
it.
That is my ethos for life.
Put it on your
A
gravestone.
motto for life. I always took a gate when offered. Oh, what is going in my head? So that's a good question. You're obviously joining us here for our weekly Q&A following the John Murray podcast that went up on Monday, which was very popular. And yeah, it's we're going to talk a bit more nonsense today. Interestingly though, I've just skipped right over. What are you going to have on your headstone?
Oh, right. Good one. Well, I don't think it's really for you to decide. It's other people.
Oh, no, you get to decide your own headstone.
No, you don't. When does that conversation happen? Would you want cremated or buried?
You need to pay for it.
I do. I need to pay for my own headstone.
Well, it depends when you die. If you die now, then your dad will probably pay for it. But
Yeah.
like, say you die when you're 80.
It'll come out.
Well, you probably should have thought about that because there's a high likelihood you would need one within the next few years.
Oh, I don't know.
Not that if you're 80, you should have bought your headstone. Can I
No.
just say, personal preference, I would buy mine.
You're going to buy your headstone before you die?
Actually, can I just, I'm talking nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a headstone.
Right. Why not?
I just want to be gone and that's it.
What do you mean?
Have a
cremated?
look on YouTube. Yeah, cremate me and throw me somewhere. And
Right.
that's me. It's a real laugh, this podcast.
Do you know my papa?
From suicides a couple of weeks ago to headstones. Why are we so morbid?
Can I tell you this though? What my papa
Please tell me
said
anything.
before he died. So he was cremated and wanted his ashes scattered in Cross Flat in our neighbouring farm's Darnhunch. And he'd said to my dad, make sure it's not a windy day. I'm not wanting to end up in Darnhunch.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So his ashes are on Cross Flat.
Cross Flat.
Cross Flat. There we go. No, so yeah, that's something to think about. What would you have on your headstone? Let me know. Drop us podcast at fedbyfarmers.co.uk. Any questions you want us to cover or any funnies you want for the headstone, let us know. We might read some out. But questions this week, Iona.
Yes.
We talked about a great thing. Before we do some of the questions that you guys have
Yes.
sent in, you talked about a great thing about from your dad's podcast, watching it back. There was a moment you said your dad watched it and we discussed the most influential blackie that he'd ever bought. But
That's right.
he has a great story about the most influential blackie ever bought. Ever. Iona, tell us the story.
So I've got my phone here just so I definitely get the details right. So it was Alexander Fleming, for those who don't know, discovered penicillin. So
An Ayrshire man as well, we should say.
yes,
He's
Ayrshire
a local to us here. Yep.
So he was one of 6 children and his uncle farmed at Lockfield Farm at Darvel and they had blackies there. And in 1902, his uncle sold a blackie tup for £250. So at that time, that was
Huge money.
huge money.
What is that in today's money?
Great question. I don't know.
Tell us. We can cut it in.
Okay. How do you do that? Just Google.
Just Google. What was £250 in 1902?
Okay. £37,643.34.
Right?
That
So-
we should have guessed.
Oh, we should have had a guess. I would guess roughly 35,000
Would you?
if I was guessing.
I'm going to go 40.
Right, okay.
Okay.
You won. So there we go. But that, bear in mind, they wouldn't be a wealthy family.
No.
Or maybe a big name in the blackies then, so that's huge.
Yeah. So that was his uncle. And at that time, Alexander Fleming was working as a clerk in a shipping office. But he wasn't incredibly intelligent, but the family didn't have money to send him to university. So anyway, his uncle sells this tup and he gifts the money to his brother to allow Alexander Fleming to go to university.
His brother being Alexander Fleming.
No, his father. Alexander Fleming's father.
So he gave the money to his father, and he used it to send his son to
Send his
university.
son to university,
And he then went on to discover penicillin.
saving millions of lives. So there is the most influential blackie ever bred.
Arguably one of the greatest medical discoveries in the history of medical discoveries, because it's penicillin used in every variant of a lot of variants of antibiotics. Yeah, that is. Look at that. The blackies saved the world.
They did.
Incredible.
Huge.
Incredible. So yeah, there we go. Most influential blackie. I like that. That's a good anecdote. Now we've got that out of the way. What other questions do we have for this week that we could cover?
Okay, let me get you one. What do you think the hardest area to farm is in Scotland? David would like to know.
David, the hardest area to farm has to be, realistically.
Let's do 3, 2, 1 and we both say it.
Okay. Have you
Or have you
decided?
got a long
Have you
answer?
decided? No,
Yeah.
I can give a quick answer.
Okay, 3. We've never
I thought
done
you were
this
counting.
before.
Are we
I
both
was
counting?
gonna,
Okay.
I was gonna do like,
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The
Lewis.
Hebrides.
Pretty close. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Western Isles,
Yeah.
I would say, the Outer Hebrides, has to be.
Why did you specifically choose Lewis?
Harris has much nicer beaches. I think Harris is a bit nicer in general. In
No.
terms of the ground.
Oh, right,
Lewis,
okay.
Lewis is definitely a bit harder than Harris, I would say, just from looking out from the roadside.
Yeah.
But the Outer Hebrides, the Western Isles, even, US, they grow some winter wheat, is it wild oats or whatever you call it up there? They can grow some crops, but
Right.
like Lewis is rocky, hard soil.
Yeah.
Lucky to get a field of grass to cut some hay.
Did you go and see the Cavendish Stones when you were up?
No,
I was disappointed, Cammy.
that's why I don't go and see them. They sound like
Really?
just stones to me. Is that what they
Oh,
are?
they are. And
Yeah.
I was the same. See, when I was in Mexico, I went to Chichen Itza, Wonder of the World. Disappointed.
Chichen Itza, did I go to that? I have been to Mexico, but I don't
Have
think
you?
I did. Is that a wee temple thing?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not really my thing.
Nah, it's not my thing either.
Like, see, I just feel like I'm obviously very patriotic and proud to be Scottish, but I just feel like when you've been about Scotland for a while, these things aren't that impressive,
No, they're not.
because just the lands, the countryside in Scotland is just
so-
amazing. Yeah,
Where did you go in Mexico?
Cancun,
Did you?
Coco Bongos. That was good. Did you go to Coco Bongos?
No, I was too scared.
What? What age were you?
Last 2 years ago.
You didn't go to Coco Bongos?
No, we weren't in Cancun for long. We'd like travelled round.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you did. You're at that age. No.
Did you go like for a holiday with your pals?
Yeah, well, it was with my pals and the ex-missus at the time. Well, she wasn't the ex-missus at the time. She was the missus at the time, but she's the ex-missus now. But yeah, we went to Cancun for a fortnight. This is back before farming, when I had to like do stuff to fill in my time. So I went to Cancun for 2 weeks, all-inclusive, 4 or 5 star, I can't remember. Golden Parnassus was the hotel name, I remember that. It was actually really good.
What was it?
It's actually really good because like they use, your all-inclusive in Central America is, like your Bacardis and your Smirnoff and good quality gear, Coronas and things like that. It's not like in Spain where it's the cheap knockoff stuff that they mix themselves out the back.
Makes your throat burn.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff, and the food was incredible.
Was it?
Yeah,
How were the waves when you were there?
terrible. You can't swim in the sea. Dangerous.
I was so
And windy.
disappointed. Yeah.
So windy all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's one of those things for lots of Americans who just, it's like going to London for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
class.
so
They just,
handy.
I just fly down to Cancun. It's great. So yeah, but no, it was nice. It was nice.
Sorry, what was the question?
What was the question?
The hardest place to farm. Yeah.
So I would say the Western Isles is the hardest. I must say I haven't been to Shetland.
Neither have I.
Although I've listened to a couple of podcasts with Michael Blanche does one with a lad from Shetland who I apologise, I forgot your name now. It's Jamie something and it's out my head. But he's growing some fodder crops and stuff like that. So it can't be that bad there because it's pretty tough to do anything like that in Lewis. So yeah, I'd say Outer Hebrides.
Yeah. Although I do think, although it'll be really difficult, I do feel like there'll be a real community
Oh yeah,
aspect. And I know there is that in farming everywhere, but I feel
Nah,
like
but it's different
especially
there.
there. 'Cause,
It's old school. It's quite old
Yeah.
school. Everybody mucks in and helps. most of them still speak Gaelic and stuff like that. It's quite nice. It's like a wee step back in time sometimes, and it is really beautiful. The mainland, though, like if we take out those extremes, where is mainland? Where is the hardest place to farm?
I don't know. I think that's a tricky question because it's depending on what you're farming, and what you're farming will depend on your location.
Yeah, well, the only thing you can farm in hard country is sheep.
What do you mean? So are we
Well,
looking...
like if you're talking about somewhere you can grow crops, it can't be the hardest place to farm.
No.
Like the hardest places to farm can only have
going to
sheep.
be, okay. So what would you say, like Argyll?
Yeah, some tough bits. Yeah, tough bits there. Tough bits there. Even like your Muirkirk area, there's tough bits around that area too. Just winter weather can be quite extreme. But then you have a lot of good green stuff. But then
I think it's got to be up like Crianlarich.
yeah, it has to be really north, up Sutherland way. Yeah, but then again, it's drier. Like it's getting the balance.
Is it?
Yeah,
Why?
it's a lot drier up north. Like, well, certainly like you got up Inverness, Black Isle and stuff. If I go up there scanning, a lot of time you can drive in the fields.
Really?
Yeah, you couldn't dream of that in Ayrshire.
Right,
Different soils maybe too. Maybe the soils are a bit sandier or something, I don't know. Or maybe a bit rockier, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's definitely drier. West coast of Scotland is shockingly wet, which makes it quite difficult to farm. But we're mild and we have a lot of grass.
Yeah.
So you have that element too. You know, there is some people northeast will be pretty tough. Has to be in Scotland. Can we just confirm that? The hardest place in the UK to farm. It has to be in Scotland.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking what the question was. The
No,
question
no.
was Scotland.
Oh, was it Scotland?
Yeah.
No, but like UK, it has to be Scotland.
Yeah.
Is the toughest place.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Scotland's toughest place. So let's say northeast, but I would love to get your thoughts on that. Drop us a
Yeah.
message, drop us an email or a message on this and let us know.
Tell us how hard it is to farm where you are.
Yes, oh yes. Everybody farms in the hardest location. It's definitely not us in Ayrshire. Ayrshire's pretty good. We have the most dairy farms of any region in the UK. Did you know that?
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
Ayrshire has the most dairy farms of any region in the UK.
Yeah, I did know that.
Not the most dairy cattle, but the most farms.
Right,
I believe that's
okay.
correct. I believe Dumfries and Galloway has the most dairy cattle,
Right.
but we have the most dairy farms because we have lots of small farms.
Would you see if you'd grown up on a dairy farm? Do you think you would have gone into dairy farming?
Well, that's such a straight. That's like saying if I grew up on a cruise ship, would I be a stage performer? Yeah, I probably would. But yeah, I would. Yeah, dairy farming. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to be in dairy farming?
Don't know. A lot of people don't.
I wouldn't want to milk the cows, but no, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
Would you not?
No, I think like see, you speak to people like dairy farming. It's like sheep, I suppose, in that you love the guys that love it. Obviously, you love the sheep. You love working with the sheep. You get to know the sheep. Same with dairy. You know, those guys that passionately love their dairy cattle or other cattle in general, but dairy cattle. You see those cows twice a day.
Yeah.
Every day. You know, she's there for years. You know how much milk she's producing. You can sense straight away if something's not right with her. You take real pride in your work. You have a weekly check coming in that's pretty decent, generally speaking. But it's a balance because if you're moving forward and the generations before you have kept it moving forward and you're in a pretty good operation, it's good. But if you're still in like an old-fashioned buyer system and maybe the generations before you didn't push it on enough, now you've got to carry the can, but you don't have the income or the assets to grow it and do what you want, it can be a bit of a noose, like we've spoken about before. So dairy's a tough one.
Yeah.
It really is. It's pretty lucrative just now, although the milk price is coming back all the time, as often happens, but it's still pretty strong just now, I believe. I was actually speaking to somebody about this the other day. So,
That's good.
Everything's quite strong just now,
That's good.
I think.
Come on, the farmers.
Yep.
Okay, you ready for one from Jack?
Yes.
Okay. Jack is looking at hopefully renting between 5 to 10 acres to make a small holding. What advice would you give to him who it's after the thing again?
Are you reading it in somebody else's? You try to put it into. Yeah.
I don't know why I do that.
Just read out
I'm
the
just going to
message.
read out the words that it
Yes.
says. What advice would you give to a person who's looking to rent land but doesn't know where to start and ain't from a farming background?
Tough one. You're laughing at yourself struggling with that there, not at the fact that it wasn't from a farming background.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
laughing
so
at
you're
me
just
saying.
clarifying
Sorry,
that 'cause,
no, I was
yeah.
laughing at me saying ain't.
Ain't.
It just didn't feel natural coming out my mouth.
Because of the private school, of course. Yeah. So, yes, how do you get ground if you're not from a farming background?
Yes. Because a lot of it's to do with who you know, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's
hard.
all to do with who you know. And luck. I always say luck, but it's also who you know. Luck and networking are what you need to get started in farming.
Okay, so let's give him some examples. What could he do? If he's young enough, young farmers.
Yes.
Jack, we didn't get your age, so I'm not sure if you're young enough for that. If not, he could...
If he doesn't want, I go on about this all the time, shearing sheep is the best way to get into farming. But if you don't want to shear sheep, you could get a job in at the market. Just about every market will take an extra pair of hands. You know, if you're going to work hard, you'll get a job at the market. So work at a livestock market, get to know people there, let them know your intentions. Quite often auctioneers, etc., will hear about parcels of land coming up, and you know, if you're working hard and they're impressed by you, they might pass that information to you, or you might speak to the farmers yourself if you're at the loading bay. One thing that we sometimes see at livestock markets is that, not often, but occasionally the staff at the loading bays, etc., can be in quite a rush and can be quite short. But if you're that bright, happy face that the farmer sees when they drop it off, and you have a bit of a crack with them and a blether and make them feel, you know, happy and glad to be there, and they get to know you and know your story. If they have a bit of ground, they'll say, do you know that young lad's...
Yeah, definitely.
Or lass was always nice, polite, he works bloody hard. When my sheep come in, he's there, he's attentive. Let's give him an opportunity. So it won't happen if you just sit there. I know a lot of people that will just sit and moan about not getting opportunities, but don't actually do anything.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
That's it. And one big thing is, and this is a controversial one maybe, but if you're working on a farm, and I've done it, like, you know, I've done my time working on farms. If you work on a farm and you're on the same farm 5, 6, 7 days a week all the time, and you're only seeing the farmer and maybe another employee, it's going to be difficult to get a start in farming yourself, because like, that's not a big network.
No.
And the chances are any decent parcels of land, the farmer's going to want them for himself. So before it gets to you, the information, there's a good chance it's been snapped up. Plus, the other argument is the farmer maybe doesn't want you starting your own thing because he needs you every day. That would be a rare occasion. You know, generally people like to see you get on, but you need to, if you're in that situation, maybe you're working 5 days a week on a farm, it'd be worth looking at the opportunity of saying, okay, every Thursday, can I get the morning off or the day off to go and work at the market? Just to do something different, meet different people, and grow your network. That would be my advice to you.
Yep. Good answer.
Thank you.
Are you ready for another?
Is that the question?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no,
Okay.
just 'cause I'm not sure what another is, and I think it's just safer to say no there. What about you? Are you ready for another?
I could take another.
That's exciting. Thailand's going to be great for you.
Why don't you use livestock guardian protection dogs for your flocks of sheep to protect them from predators?
Answer that one, Iona.
I have never heard of livestock guardian.
Okay, well, so very common in Europe and parts of America, I'm guessing, Southern America, these places. I went to Turkey and visited a livestock guardian breeding farm of these the Turkish Kangal dogs, which are like the biggest dogs, or the biggest or strongest dogs in the world. I can't remember what it is, but monsters.
Was it quite scary?
They are terrifying dogs, for sure, but they're quite friendly to humans, generally speaking. Obviously, those ones were. But the reason we don't have livestock guardian dogs here in the UK, the main reason would be that people can wander wherever they like.
Yeah.
And it's not like a lot of these countries in Europe, etc., where it's, you know, get off my land and you shouldn't be on my land. Like, people can just do what they like
The
here.
right to roam.
The right to responsible access, yeah. And particularly in Scotland, people can go where they like. So if people are just going to wander through fields, you can't have a dog there that is going to go for them.
So is that what you do? So you have a dog that just wanders
Just
your
lives
farm?
with the sheep. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, a livestock guardian dog, like for sheep, say we grow up with the sheep as a pup. You put it in with the sheep all the time as a pup. The other factor we have is it's so wet here. It's not great for a dog. It's okay in like a warm country like Turkey,
Yeah,
for example, where the climate's pretty settled.
But the dog's outside all year.
You need to definitely need a kennel with it all the time. You know, unlike in Turkey, it doesn't need that. So you need to move a kennel to every field. Obviously, you need to be out feeding it all the time, but that's not such an issue. But it's just really, really impractical here in the UK. There'd be animal welfare issues. Someone would be reporting you for the dog living out in the field in the rain and the cold. Someone would end up getting attacked because people just come into your field, and in the UK, it's the farmer's responsibility if somebody gets hurt in their field.
What do you think of that?
It's wild.
That's wild.
I think that, I'll be honest with you, I think the whole right of responsible access thing needs tightened up a bit. I don't have an issue with people coming into empty farmland, but I just think we should tighten up that it's not responsible access to walk in a field with livestock.
It's not.
Okay in an open hill. You know, you can put caveats to these things. Okay in an open hill like Ben Lomond, you know, where there's a designated right of access trail and things like that, and it's National Trust or whatever it is, fair enough. But if we call it a circular fence farm, you know, if you have to open a gate or climb over a fence to get in there and there's livestock, you should be in the wrong.
Yeah,
I think,
agree with that.
Like, what, you don't need to be there.
No, there's so many options.
So many places.
But then, do you know what's wild? We have like the River Air walkway runs through our farm, and it's good. It's like fenced on both sides, and the path goes right through. And you'll still get people walking to the road parallel, which is maybe like 20 metres right through the fields. And it's like there's a designated path that's fenced, but then people will still just walk.
Because they want the dog
fields.
to run wild in the field.
It's weird.
Yeah, we just have this real sense of entitlement. And by the way, before anyone gets the idea that like I'm some wealthy landowner saying that, I don't own a single acre. I own the only thing we own is a semi-detached house in the town that has a tiny wee garden. That's the only land I own. So I don't own anything, but I still think that way.
Yeah.
It should be okay if there's no livestock there. Fair enough. But if there's clearly livestock there, and generally speaking, in a field, a farmer's field, you can see the livestock. There's exceptions to that, but there's not many fields, you know, in-by fields over 60 acres. You should generally be able to see the whole thing. Yeah. And tell if there's livestock there, and that should be the rules. You shouldn't be in that field.
Yeah.
Simple.
I back it.
Okay, that's it. Done. They need to tighten up that. I could talk about that legislation forever, as you know. Like the whole right to responsible access thing, it's the dog has to either be on the lead or under close control. And we talk about this all the time. What the hell is close control?
Yeah.
What is close control?
Close control to me is on a lead right next to you.
That is the only way you can have control.
Yeah.
Close control is an imaginary thing that you think your dog is under close control.
I know.
My dog's under close control because he's at my heel. Oh, now he's not. Now he's chasing a sheep.
Yeah.
But 1 second ago, he was under close control. It's the most the folk that write these things.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I don't know what planet they're on. Honestly, it's people writing this legislation and these laws that have no idea about what it's really like.
No.
Don't start me.
Yeah.
Change subject.
Yeah, let's move on to something else.
Let's do one more.
I'll actually, do you know what? I'm going to go onto Facebook and see if anybody's commented. That's us done the ones you've sent me. I'll see if anybody else has commented. Best and worst ever Christmas present.
Interesting.
We should have done this on our last one.
Yeah, but that's okay. Best and worst ever Christmas present. Best present I ever got was a hole in my pocket.
What does that mean?
A hole in my pocket? Well, it's because Mum couldn't afford anything else, so that was just to give me something to play with.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. But it was the best present I ever got because I've had a hole in my pocket ever since.
What?
Yep.
I don't understand what you're saying.
A hole in my pocket.
Why have you still got a hole in your pocket?
So I've always got something to play with.
Do you make holes in your pockets?
Yeah, it's great. Just pass the time.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Do you know what you could be doing with one of those fidget toys?
Do you think so because of the potential ADHD?
No, just if you're making holes in your trousers to play with.
So it's not as much fun, Iona. It's not as much fun. It's not as subtle as well. When you're in a boring conversation, you just bring out the fidget spinner. So that was the best present I ever got. What was your best present?
God, I don't know.
You've had so many. I take it you're quite spoiled growing up.
We always got a present at Christmas. But we
Whoa.
wear it.
Whoa. Privilege. You get a present every Christmas.
But I'm sitting here with something got a hole in their pocket.
But I was really poor. That's different. I don't expect you. You went to Wellington.
Yeah.
You know.
But no, I wouldn't say mum and dad didn't, like, they never went mental with us.
So give me one present you got. What's the craziest present you got?
Oh gosh.
Apart from another year's tuition at Wellington. 30,000 a year.
God, why can't I think of any present I've ever received? I remember one year I got a desk and I really liked it.
You got a desk? Mm-hmm. Did they wrap it up?
No, didn't wrap it up.
What, like a beauty desk, like a makeup desk?
No, like a desk like a functional desk with like post-it notes and
Were you always destined to be a freak?
organised.
Organised freak. Yeah.
Why can't I think of any
Control
present
freak.
I've ever received? I honestly can't, Kai.
Not one fun present.
No, like they always got us great stuff. Like we still always get a pair of pajamas every year.
Do you wear pyjamas?
Yes.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why? What else would you wear at night?
Well, I don't wear anything. Well, I wear a pair of boxers quite often.
I
But
know it's more unusual for guys to wear pajamas, and I feel sorry for you because pajamas are great.
they're not though.
Well, what do you wear when you go home and you want to relax in front of Grand Designs?
I wear this all the time.
I know.
I've been wearing this jumper unwashed for 2-3 weeks now.
But what happens when you want to take your jeans off? You want to sit on the couch? Are you still in your jeans?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. I literally, just before we go to bed, I'll go for a shower and then go straight to my bed.
Right. Oh, so you don't... So I'm the opposite. I'm in the door straight away. I'm either showering or getting into my pajamas, getting out of whatever clothes I'm in.
But see, you probably have the heating on. Mm-hmm. So in our house, we don't have the heating on, so it's very cold. So there's no pleasure in... You need layers.
Yeah, okay.
So it sounds ridiculous, but it is like... There's times you need the heating on if it's like minus or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll put the heating on, but I'm not going to
But you've got a fire.
Yeah, we've got
you've
the
got
coal
the fire.
but we need the coal fire on to heat the water for the shower,
Right, okay.
ironically. So it's quite an old-fashioned heating system, which is fine. I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's all like nostalgia for me. Like
Yeah.
when we were wee, our house was always cold and you all had to, as a family, be in the living room. I mean, it sounds ridiculous because it's not that many years ago, but it is
No,
really. I suppose
yeah.
it's 30 years ago, well, 25 years ago. But when I was wee, in the winter, you would all have to be in the living room because it was the only room that was warm.
Yeah.
Because the fire was on.
And then as soon as you go out, that's what it's like at our farm.
Yeah, you'd run to your bed. You'd get
freezing.
always had a hot water bottle, and you'd go and put it in first, and then you'd come back and sit for a bit, and then you'd go to your bed, and there'd be a wee bit of heat there. But yeah, there'd be the initial,
Oh, so cold.
and yeah, it was cold. But then don't get me wrong, as we got older, we got electric blankets. That changed the game.
yeah.
We have an electric blanket now.
Do you?
Yes, only one side works.
Who gets it?
No, we have. It's so ridiculous the way we live, actually. See, as I'm saying it out loud, it's like we can't go for a shower because it's so cold. You have to run straight to your bed because it's freezing out the shower. But the electric blanket's broken on one side. So now what we've done is rather than get a new blanket, because that would be excessive, like a waste of money, we
Turned it sideways.
turned it sideways. So now
Is it top half or bottom half?
top half.
Yeah.
Which is
okay.
might be controversial because, feet, but I think
Do
most
you,
would
do
go
you wear
top
socks
half.
in bed?
No.
Right? Even if you're cold?
No. I don't think I can't wear socks. I get a little bit claustrophobic,
Phobic.
like on my feet and that. So what we'll do though is we'll like lie in the fetal position initially.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like knees up in your chest and like curl up and just wait till you're kind of ready for the cold below. Yeah.
Would you not just get a wee oil heater or something?
An oil heater. There's radiators in the room. It's not that old fashioned. It has got heating, but I just don't put it on because it's... Well, a couple of fronts, it's expensive, and also it's not a good It's not a good precedent to set.
Why?
Well, for the boys,
Why not?
I think that'd been quite soft, eh?
Yeah, no, you've got this thing about being soft. I mean, I think for them to be warm is okay.
Oh, they are warm. For God's sake. They are warm. Like they've got like sleeping bags and all that and heaps of layers, but so it's not like they're lying in there, please, Dad, please. No, they're all wrapped up like crazy. They're absolutely, you put your hand in their back, they're sweating.
Yeah.
But like the cold, fresh air.
I do know what you mean. Like, see that stuffy feeling of the heating being on.
Like when Lizzie first came, and she still is, like she feels the cold shockingly.
Does she?
Because down in Devon, it's so warm all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just back 14 degrees.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter. It's a different world down there. Like, I was always down to my t-shirt, and when I was in our mum's house or our brother's house.
Really?
Really warm, yeah. Different world, so I like it. I like it cold. I think it'll set them up for life for saving a fortune on heating.
True.
But you'll have a nice insulated house.
You see the flat.
Double glazing.
We basically, it's down, and we're up a floor, so downstairs have their heating on all the time.
Oh.
So it's actually so warm. Like,
yeah.
Like you go in, and even if the heating's not been on, it'll be sitting at like 14, 15 degrees, like the thermostat.
Flats are good for that.
Yeah.
That is one
really
good thing.
great.
Yeah. So straight to pyjamas. So yeah, no. Worst present you've ever had?
You go first.
I get some terrible presents now.
Do you?
Yeah, just 'cause I really hate getting presents.
Right, let's talk about that. Why?
Just because it's such a waste of money.
Because you don't actually want anything.
I don't want, there's not really anything I want, people couldn't buy it for me.
Yeah.
It'd be so expensive. You know, for example, another 100 Jows.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or would I need now? Another 100 Jows, or looking at maybe a livestock lorry, or a van for the sheep game merch next summer. All these things I need are expensive.
Yeah.
Like, don't know, sometimes you can do things a really nice thought, but I think folk would be amazed at how bloody miserable I am. Like, I'd wear the same clothes look at this jumper. These jeans, like, I still haven't washed these jeans.
Have you not?
No, these are the ones I wore to a landlord shoot 3-4 months ago and came home and did a job in them, got them a wee bit dirty, and I still haven't washed them and wear them every day.
That's fair.
But it doesn't...
No.
I couldn't care less.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I could not care less.
I don't think that's been miserable. I think that's fine.
But I just like basic. I'm very, very basic. I am very, very basic. And not like a basic bitch, whatever that means. What does that mean?
I think that means kind of, I don't know, like...
You're snobby.
Basic bitch. I don't know, like kind of like into like chicky things.
Right, okay. Well, I'm not into that.
No, you're not.
No. So, yeah, I just like things simple. So, yeah, no, probably just random nonsense you get now because people feel they have to get you something.
Yeah, and they're trying, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just for the charity shop. You don't have a worst present, though, because yours were all amazing.
No, I don't. There's not one springing to mind. It'll be that classic, and then I'll think of something.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Sorry, boring answers.
Yeah.
Right, just really quickly.
Yeah, we'll do one more. I'll chop a heap of that out.
Yeah, just because this person has said, when you talk about blackie sheep, are they a particular breed? Do you only have these for commercial purposes? Do you keep any lambs? I rent a house on a Welsh farm. They have sheep that all look the same to me. I'm looking forward to seeing the lambs running around. So I just want, because we've been speaking about them again. So blackie sheep are Scottish blackface sheep. It's their Sunday name.
Yes, and although blackies can be not necessarily Scottish blackface, of course, they could be Hexham types would come under blackies, although most folk would call them Hexham. You'd put the Hexham before just to clarify. So you do get other types. However, it can be controversial because I've had comments about being racist from people just like aghast with my YouTube videos when I refer to blackies.
Right, okay.
Because they think it's like a racist term for black people.
Okay.
But it's not. It's like...
Yeah,
it's the term for the sheep.
Yeah.
They are blackies. They're Scottish blackies. Scottish blackface. So, and it is a pure breed. For anyone wondering, it is a pure breed that's kept pure quite often, but it's often crossed to make the Scotch Mule, which is another, probably two most popular breeds in the UK. Maybe not.
Say it with confidence, Cammy.
The two most popular breeds in the UK are the Scottish Blackface and the Scottish Mule. I'm not sure about the Scottish Mule. I'm not even sure the Scottish Blackface still has that title.
Well, Google it.
I don't think Google will be up to date enough.
No.
Google will still say it is, but like there's so many big bits getting put off. I could see something like the Cheviot or the Welsh Mountain or the Herdwick catching up on them, but it'd be interesting to know. But yes, that is what Scottish Blackface is. So that's us for this one. Iona's heading away to Thailand. Our next Q&A next week will be via your phone from somewhere in Thailand.
Yes, it will.
We'll keep it nice and short, but we'll have a bit of fun and get an update from you on how it's going.
Yep.
It would be iconic
Okay.
if you could have a friend with you that is perhaps synonymous with Thailand,
Okay.
just to tell us a bit about themselves and how they came to
Right.
be there. That would be hilarious.
I will do my best, and I'll try and find a farmer out there somewhere as well. Not sure what they farm. Thai tea.
Yes.
I'll see what I can do.
Yes. Sounds good. Okay. We look forward to that. Thanks again to Foras Fabrication for sponsoring this podcast. Check out foras.co.uk for all your farm utility needs. I don't know if farm utility is the right word.
But do you know what? I enjoyed that there. That gave me like you in a school show.
What, like this?
Yeah, I liked it.
Jazz hands?
Yeah, like all. Yeah, I liked it.
Check out Foras Fabrication. Gates, hurdles and calf pens. I'd be like door holder number 3. That'd be my role. Yeah. And I'd be buzzing. I was actually a tree at my nativity.
A tree.
Yeah. Did you do nativity?
Crow.
Was that was at Muirkirkle or was that at Wellington Primary?
Wellington.
You did primary at Wellington too? What a snob. And you were a crow? Was there a crow in the nativity? No?
That's ridiculous. I don't know why I was
Give us your
a crow.
best crow. That's at a film. It's like,
Yeah.
give the signal.
Yeah, what is that?
It's maybe Anchorman or something. Anyway, that's us for this one, folks. Thanks for listening or watching on YouTube. I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we are both fed by farmers.
Welcome to the podcast where we're harvesting humor, planting delight. Join us, Iona and Cammy. Let's have some